checking the mic. All right, I'm just probably going to have to shout so you guys can hear me because my lab has decided to die at the worst possible time. Thank you for all the no sounds. Apologies for that. I guess I'm just going to have to start over. Showed I had sound when I first sent it up, and I think my lab has died. So it is what it is. Let me do this. I'm going to lower the pole so at least I'm a little closer. There we go. And I'm just going to have to talk loud, and you're going to have to just try to listen. All right, so let me restart, because it doesn't sound like anybody heard a darn thing that I had to say. I am presently at Cal Anderson Park on the west side of the park on Nagley. Let me give you a real quick summary of what's happened in the last 12 hours. So, or actually say in the last week. A group of people that were largely unhomed had moved into, and Cal Anderson has been an area where homeless people, unhomed people have congregated and stayed. A group of unhomed people had moved into a shelter that during shop area was associated with shop. Riot Kitchen was there. The Parks Department was working with the individuals in there. There was a meeting planned between the Parks Department and those people at 1 o'clock today. SPD claims in a press release that they came and told everybody to leave on Wednesday. They said, we're not leaving after initially agreeing. And then Friday morning, sorry about that. Friday morning, what happened was, at about 7 this morning, SPD moved in with a massive show of force and cleared out the area. To a very, very large group of witnesses. And what's happening now, as you can probably see behind the fence, there's a group of SPD officers that are moving down from, they're heading, let me get my orientation here, south. They're heading south from Nagley towards Pine. But again, there's a pretty significant show of force here. And I think SPD is moving because some people just ran.
Don't worry about people.
Just a night giving me his back number.
Y'all need to get in this fucking car and go. Come on, Peggy.
Go! Get the fuck out! Go out!
Let him go. Then we got 5.
He meant his hair.
I
This
guess
what the fuck
this
we
will be the
found.
first of many cat and mouse encounters tonight.
They won't even look at that truck again, brother.
And I know some of you are probably interested in what's going on at the shelter, and I will head over there. I had permission to shoot what was going on earlier because I was shooting in there. I wasn't streaming because you know, at the time, I guess it probably wasn't necessarily public information, and I wanted to be respectful of that. But I was shooting video and still. With the permission of the group, and I really appreciate that. Then there's a couple other. I know I jumped into this. I know there's no audio for the first few minutes of the video. We'll fix that later. The meeting will snip out the part with no audio, or I'll just put a little comment in there that say, "Hey, audio's missing for the first few minutes of the video." So. As I started to explain, when things got kind of a little spicy, not really spicy, the wrong word, but got a little heated up there, is there was a significant show of force earlier today for really what was mostly just a group of harmless, unhomed people. And people are moving back into that shelter, and SPD just kind of came in with this, really just a show of force. And I think probably there's a little bit of, hey, we're here, you're here. I think there's a little bit of that going on. And I think that there is a little bit of, you know, testing tactics that are going on. So they're actually setting up, it looks like, to make food. And I hope they do start cooking because I would love some Seattle version of Riot Ribs or something. So things have kind of calmed down, but again, I think this will be the first of many cat and mouse encounters that will be happening today.
Trying to take the women from that man.
I want to go ahead and a couple other things that I'm going to comment on. Seattle, in packing up the shelter earlier, left the inside like filled with sawdust and stuff. And the people that are here are cleaning up the inside of the shelter. I call it a shelter. I guess it's really a storage area. But the people that are here they're cleaning up the storage area on the inside. They're doing freaking Seattle's job for them. And again, they're kind of moving in food and some other stuff. So bear with me here for a minute as they just kind of get things a little organized. Might be able to go around and back the other way.
I so got you. Like, I got you.
Right, and I know that kind of with
That's my
this is where
opinion.
full cam works against me because there's not enough room like to go inside of the pole. But let me see if I can just kind of. This is what I mean by it's just like there's this little kitchen. There you go. A little kitchen, a couple of refrigerators, and then if you've ever been like in a church, like a small church hall, that's basically what it looks like on the inside on this little area. But I stress small. You know, one of the things, the Como story earlier today made it sound like like there was an army of people here inside this building, and there's just no way. Inside, it might be the size of a larger bedroom in a suburban house, like 15 by 15, maybe. So even if you had people stacked, so let's see, 15 by 15. See if I got my math right here. I got to do math with my head. 15, 150, 50, 200 square feet. Do I have that right? They used to call me the human calculator. There's people out there that know me right now going, "You used to do that?" Okay. 225 square feet. So 225 square feet, say, if you did 12 square foot a person, so basically people are packed like cordwood in there, you could fit 18, maybe 19 people in there, if they were packed like cordwood sleeping. So, anyway, it might be a little bigger than 15 by 50, it might be 20 by 20, somewhere in between there. Anyway, things have calmed down, but again, I think this is going to be the first of like things have totally calmed down. But again, I think this is going to be the first of many of these incursions. All right, housekeeping. Because normally I would do the housekeeping at the start of this, but it's okay because there was no sound, and we had to just dive in. And I may go ahead and just troubleshoot some stuff. So. I do want to call out a couple of things, which is, first of all, supporting BIPOC streamers, and also some of the BIPOC activists that are working for equality. So Venmo, the Morning March crew, you can Venmo them at Morning March. The EDM Team, you can Venmo them at E as in Echo, D as in Delta, M as in Michael, housing, as in like a house over your head. So E is in Echo, D is in Delta, M is in Michael, housing. That helps the EDM team. The Engage team. The Engage team is the people that brought you that amazing event in cooperation with the EDM team last Friday. You can Venmo them at the Engage team. For safety gear, if you want to provide safety gear for BIPOC streamers, you can Venmo Victoria Ramon. I'll spell that for you. It's up at the top in the description of the video. If you Venmo Victoria, please make sure you state the reason is safety gear. Victoria and her efforts in particular have been able to provide safety gear for at least 9 people. And I mean a lot more than just like, here's your bike helmet. She is doing amazing work. 2 streamers that really could use some help, BIPOC streamers, Calypso Head. And her Venmo is C as in Charlie, H as in Hotel, S as in Sierra, and then Stream all together. She really needs our help. And the next one is of Yovng God, aka Ash. Ash is A as in Alpha, E as in Echo, S as in Sierra, the Pick Scanash. Probably just easier for Ash's one. Ash, I apologize. I have probably murdered what you're trying to do, what you're trying to spell out there. You can go up to the top of the feed. I know it's like, oh man, it's like you feel like you're on PBS and the money responses. Don't feel that way. This all helps BIPOC. If you want to help Diaz Love with her recovery, you can Venmo ITS Diaz Love. And Diaz Love is looking at a recovery that will take years. Literally years. The last thing is the link up there. If you want to support production of Black June, the documentary, there is a link for the GoFundMe for Black June. I am the Malcontent, and I thank you for supporting the Malcontentment Tango. And we will just keep streaming at this point. So I know I just like ran off this whole long list of things. I have Venmo information for me up there, and then I'm going to bring up another housekeeping point. But please support BIPOC first, please. Here's the next thing. Future Crystals put me on blast tonight. I love you for doing that. One of the things that Future Crystals did is he just took a picture of one of my cards that, you know, has a link to the Twitch and all, and my Venmo is on there. So this is what I'm going to do, which is not my way of going like, hey, like going, hey, send me money that I'm going to give money. That's not what I'm trying to do here. If any money comes to my Venmo in the next 23 hours, because it's been up there for about an hour, I am going to give that to BIPOC streamers. Because again, Future Crystals, they meant nothing by it. They were just wanted me to give a shout out to the work that we're doing here at the Tango, and I deeply appreciate it. So there's no malice, there's no nothing here. He just literally took a picture of the card and the bowl. And if you see the picture of Future Crystals, you see what I'm talking about. And the Venmo information is on there. So I just want to be really transparent and really clear about that. So enough of that, enough housekeeping, enough dollars and cents. Let me walk around to the lake side of this. And how are you all hearing me? Because I don't have the lav. And I think what happened is it became unclipped as I was kind of setting things up. And it was working initially, and I think I stepped on it. Well, I know I stepped on it, and I think that's the end of the lab. There's a group over here. If they're talking about tactics, we're all going to walk away.
Get your anger out right now. But if you guys want to,
yeah, they're having a tactical discussion.
don't please.
And what I mean by a tactical discussion is they're just kind of having a briefing, a safety briefing over there, and I'm not going to put that on blast because that's their business.
Yeah, I'll go with you. Let's go.
Never leave without saying something.
I know that's.
We never do it.
Hey, so let's check this. Let's check this one last time.
Yeah, so what I might do, I might see if I can find a spot to sit down. And I'm going to see, I think I did find a spot where I can sit down. I think I'm going to see if I can find a spot to sit down. Well, I did. And I'm just going to kind of fiddle with this mic. And y'all are just, I'm going to keep the stream going. Because I just, you all are here. So there's no sense in losing y'all. And let's see if we can get sound back. Or if I just really did foobar up this microphone. I'm just looking at her right now. I don't see anything cracked in the housing. Let's see what we got here. Now you probably hear me a lot better. Shoot. I mean, the question is, did I lose the plug? Yeah, this is what all the cool kids are wearing now. Well, shoot. It's dead, Jim. Millennials and younger are going, what the hell does that mean? It's worse than that. He's dead, Jim. All right. Well, there you go. So, what's the lesson learned tonight? You need to carry a spare microphone. I'm just sewing the cable, bear with me for a moment. Because it's all attached to the pole cam. All right, there, malcontents. There we go, like that. There we go. I blocked the light. How you doing? How's everybody doing tonight? I'm trying to block that light for you. I don't know, what if we go like that? Technology not behaving. Yeah, you're just gonna have to deal with the bright light. Go to the light. I think I'm probably also like almost sideways on your screen because of the way things are. Howdy, howdy there. I'm just Joey. I'm just trying to figure out technology at the moment. That's all. My lav microphone has decided to die. I stepped on it by accident, in full disclosure, and I think stepping on it is the end. So anyway, I was just storing the cable. All right, I'm catching up on messages and stuff. Like I'm finally just like between equipment issues and also just bear with me right now. So live Seattle, Cal Anderson Park. SPD knows we're here, so I'm not sharing anything out on blast at this point that the police don't know about. There is a group of very organized protesters or activists. I'm trying not to use the word protester. They're activists. And there was it's best described as a storeroom with a small kitchen. I described it earlier as you could just imagine like the smallest church hall you could think of in your mind with the tiniest little like 2-burner kitchen attached to it. And that's what it's like inside. It literally does look like a church hall inside. And it was occupied by unhomed people that were using it very similar to what Riot Kitchen was here. So Riot Kitchen during CHOP was, think of it almost like Riot Ribs in down in Portland. I think a lot of people are familiar with Riot Ribs. If you watch any of the Portland feeds, I don't think as many people are familiar with Riot Kitchen. Anyway, people basically set Riot Kitchen back up, and they also were setting up, hey, you know, if you need drug and alcohol treatment, we'll help you here. If you need clean needles, we can help you here. If you need sanitary, you know, if you need feminine products, soap, toothbrush, toothpaste, we will help you here. You know, terrible, awful things. And the police came in, not following protocol with the unhomed, no 3-day notice, no available resources, came in with guns and told everybody they had 1 minute to get out. That's how it went down today. 4 people arrested, and they're setting back up over here. And if, you know, and again, if you're getting ready to blast me on the, don't be telling people. Police have already been here. They already know what's going down because there already was a show of force here. So, give me 1 second. I'm stuff getting blown up here. Let's see here. Just bear with me here. All right, I'm caught up in messages. Sorry about that. I just that's people playing sports. If you know, actually, you know what we could do? You guys want to go see dodgeball? I mean, there's nothing, right? It's gotten quiet again. They're going to be back. You know it. I know it. They know it. Everybody knows it. They're going to be back. You want to go see some dodgeball? We can go watch some dodgeball. We can go do some ESPN 8 The Ocho. I haven't done that since CHOP. All right, so let's go do some ESPN 8 The Ocho. You know, are the unhomes that were disrupted today? Were they? You know, are they okay? I don't know. If you were asleep and like the door got kicked in and there were police officers in riot gears with guns telling you that you had 1 minute to get out, would you be okay? I know what my answer would be. My answer would be no, I'm not okay. I'm pretty fucking far from okay. And I've talked about this so many flipping times. This is the failure of the city and the county. And at the end of the day, when it comes to dealing with the unhomed, the SPD is completely set up for failure. They are completely fucking set up for failure. And most officers in SPD would tell you, they don't want to deal with it. They don't want to be social workers. 2 precincts this morning were put on priority call only for this operation that happened this morning. 2 precincts. So priority call only means basically, hey, somebody's stealing my car. Hey, that's really nice. We're not coming. That's what priority call only means. 2 precincts this morning. I mean, is that good use of taxpayer resources? All right, we got a little ESPN 8 no Ocho action here. In some ways, it's not like shop is restarting or anything, but it does look like a top deal tonight. All right, bear with me as I line up the shot. That's right, you're not going to see anything unless I flip that camera around. Gotta flip that camera around and now you'll see ESPN 8. All right, here we go. Got a little dodgeball action going on here. Well, that was a bold move, Don. All I'll be able to do if I stand here, I'm out of the way of the. Hey, the auto club just went by. I've been told at this point SPD is documenting anybody that's dressed all in black. So, hey, I've been documented. You know, that's a great question, Kenzie. I pronounced your name wrong, I apologize. And for those of you just tuning in, if I sound a little far away, it's because my microphone, I killed it by accident earlier tonight. So, sorry. I'm like 4 or 5 feet away from my own microphone. To answer that question, though, yes. However, they didn't follow any of the protocol today. And so the protocol that they were supposed to follow was 3 days written notice in both English and Spanish. And then they were supposed to give a 4 hours notice on like, okay, we're here, you got 4 hours. And then at that point, they go. And they didn't do that. And what happened today was just all about revenge. Because when they were asking, like, what about our stuff? Where do I go? And they're like, oh, well, you got to go talk to the navigation team about that. The navigation team was defunded because it was one of the only pieces of the budget that Seattle could defund. And to get into the issue of defund, Austin, Texas tonight unburdened, demilitarized their police department by 33% tonight. If frickin' Austin, Texas can do it, Texas, the execution capital of the country. Hey, we're demilitarizing and unburdening the police by 33% today. Seattle gave us $3 million friggin' dollars. And people are clutching their pearls like it's the end of the world. And when you figured out all the math, like Carmen's best salary was barely cut when you did all the math. And she like, I'm taking my ball and going home. I'm gonna go up to Snohomish County and live with my racist neighbors who just tolerate me because I'm the police chief. if I wasn't a police chief or a doctor or a lawyer, if I had some other vocation, I wouldn't be getting the same warm reception that I have out there in Snohomish with the trolls. No, there's other streamers on the ground. They may not necessarily be on Facebook. I know that for a fact. That's all I'm going to say. I don't believe they're on Facebook, and I know another's coming. So I think it was enough ESPN ATO show. We'll go this way.
Document all that shit. I saw you in that.
Absolutely. Protect the truth. You got to protect the truth. So right now, okay, if you hear like a siren in the background, that's a fire truck. There is a fire station very close to here. So during, and there's also a police station close to here. So just because you may hear sirens, just because you hear sirens doesn't necessarily mean that has anything to do with here. All right. We're getting ready to grill. Let's go show this. Let's go show this. So again, those sirens you're hearing, not related.
It went well though. Yeah, I'm satisfied. How are you?
Just a reminder too on that show of force that happened here. This is the same park on Sunday that had an open air concert where basically nobody was wearing a mask and they were doing full immersion baptisms in the same water. Meaning the same people are doing full immersion baptisms, nobody's wearing a mask. Everybody packed in like rats. And like nobody wearing a mask. That happened here on Sunday. Future Crystals was the only streamer who was out here that did an amazing job. And I was watching them. And one thing I will say, if people are worried and stuff, generally people tell me they're biz. I don't get in their biz, but Future Crystals told me they did get a COVID test afterwards, you know, for their own protection, and I'm glad that they did it. So, but this is the same park that happened in. And one of the excuses that SPD used, if you read the Como story that's linked on the Tango, is that the park is closed and that nobody was supposed to be here. That was one of the excuses they used for the tactics this morning, which we know is complete BS. When I got here earlier tonight, this ball field was full of people. I just showed you just a bunch of people that are they're people in the neighborhood. They're out here playing dodgeball on the tennis courts. And there's other people that are just wandering around they're not activists. They got nothing to do with this. So it's just complete and utter bullshit that the park was closed. And what enrages me is it shouldn't take private citizens being out here to tell the friggin' truth, to tell the story. It shouldn't be that. So what's happening is that this group is moving. I believe Future Crystals is with them. I've had a few people talk to me. They're like, no, you're good, you can. So we're going to follow along. I'm just going to keep talking over the music. Let's talk over the music. All right, here we go.
Dex, grab me one.
Oh, it is. One of the things that I like about Prairie Fall evening They're not doing traffic ticket enforcement. So thank you, Seattle, for letting me park free tonight. Much appreciated.
Okay, well, I gotta get to my car, so I'm gonna have to sneak in my car. Hey, can I hit that, please? Can I get the last couple of bags done?
So what I was told was this is an amalgamation too. This isn't necessarily the DA group, but I was told that there was a conversation with some people in the DA group that basically was like, hey, you know, you got to have some oxygen in your story in the room. And if you don't let streamers, and if you don't let the legal observers along, you don't have any, you can't control the story. The police are going to control the story. The mainstream media is going to control the story. So we're going to show the story, good, bad, and ugly, because that's what we do in the Tango. This is Malcontentment. I am getting a workout tonight.
Because if you have a chance of writing, you take all that you're with us, you just endangered all of us, right?
Get a little faster in the back. Catch up in the back, please.
I'm staying further
Back
back.
is here. Come through.
I'm staying further back in the group to protect identity, by still being able to tell the story. And I did have a conversation with a couple of people, and they know that I'm here, and I've had some other people in the VA group come up and say, so hopefully we won't have a repeat of last Friday. Kenzie, yes I do. I have a gold cam, and unfortunately I would be up higher if I didn't lost my microphone. But I have to keep a little lower tonight, otherwise you can't hear me. And what I'm told is y'all can hear me, but barely. It's because I'm probably, maybe 5 feet away from the built-in microphone. Plus I'm also wearing a double mask, so that muffles things. So I wear an N95, but then I wear a cloth mask over the N95, because that protects the N95, and then I can get, more than 1 day use out of it. Anyway, please wear a mask. As a business owner, I can tell you, most business owners are just like, please wear a mask. Definitely from a microphone standpoint going to have to rig something up for tomorrow. I have the lab, it's just the connecting into the device. Street lights is starting to come on. If you're just seeing a little more light, it's just because the street light's getting ready to come on. There's a couple of people who are also documenting or photographing. They're also sticking towards that. All right, we're rolling. If you're just tuning in, you're in Seattle. We are live. And this is a this isn't necessarily the direct action group, although I see faces from the direct action group here. But it's also there's an amalgamation of a couple of groups here. I got you. Because we're both back here, we gotta, so.
I'm gonna go on the front if you're just not.
Yeah. Just know they're gonna be sensitive about that, just know that.
Burn out! Burn out!
It was a 2.
Again, when we're moving, generally it's harder for me to look at your comments and questions when we're moving. The other thing where these protests don't have a car brigade and don't have a bike brigade, I definitely have to have my head a little bit more on a swivel.
It's very just like, I guess this is what's on Netflix tonight.
Aaron, I love your comment. I definitely call people that are just like clutching their pearls over this stuff. They are total frightened kittens. The other one that cracks me up, I wrote a post yesterday, kind of an homage to streamers in general. And it really cracks me up when I see streamers take comments from people in the safety of their couch or their mom's basement calling a streamer a coward. I think most people in the streamer brother, sister, and Jayhood that have really been out here, I think they would say, you're anything but a coward. Club is here. It makes me feel a lot better about having to watch my back.
Oh!
good in the back. I found you guys.
Basically executed because she was having a mental health crisis.
Don't fucking record on. Don't record.
I'm really trying to balance being able to show you the story and not end up in a confrontation with the screen. So just trying to balance all of that. I want to document the history. I want to bring the story. I want their story to be told. But every side of the story has their wants and needs and how much they're willing to show. Literally every side of the story. And I have been very fortunate to be able to show like just about every side of the story. If you're just tuning in, we are live. We are in
We've done this. We know. Yeah, let's go. Stay safe.
So they're asking to hold, and now again I'm kind of in this delicate balance of trying to keep my distance, but also enabling the car brigade to do their thing. The other reason why I think this is really important is a couple of nights ago there were a couple of streamers who was a confrontation down in the shop. And there were two different streamers that caught things from two different angles. What I was told is that an individual that was arrested were to watch that video from the streamers, and they're going to go, the person that was tackled and arrested didn't do anything. And I was told today, I don't know if it's true, but the charges were dropped. They weren't arraigned because the video showed they didn't do anything wrong. Right, so if you've watched it, you know I've said many times. If you've watched me before, I said many times. I'm here for the protesters' safety as much as to tell a story. important for me to stop for the moment to see your comments.
The pigs are what got the pigs on us immediately. So if you guys are ready for shit to end now, that's what I would say they're doing because that's when they were born. Get back.
But you
Be
see,
strategic.
Cannon Hinnot is going to get justice. The person that shot and killed Cannon Hinnot was arrested in less than 24 hours, and they've already been charged. Breonna Taylor was executed while sleeping in her bed, a decorated emergency medical technician in the city of Louisville, and that's been more than 5 months. See, that's the difference. There's going to be justice handed up, to quote Joey earlier today, on a silver fucking platter. Where's justice for Breonna Taylor? Do we have that yet? See, that's the friggin' difference. That's why we're out here chanting Black Lives Matter. Do you get it? Is it through your friggin' head yet? See, there's going to be justice. Let's flip it around. Let's say there wasn't justice, right? Let's say the police were, well, we got to investigate this. And 4, 5, 6 months later, still no justice. Would you feel compelled if you were their parent to go, this is bullshit, we have to go march in the streets? If it was your kid? If Breonna Taylor was your daughter, asleep in bed, and executed, and 5 months later, nothing's happened, are you just going to shrug it off? I have a daughter. I wouldn't shrug it off. I'd be raising hell. I'd want people to raise hell with me for justice. That's the difference. That people are coming up to tighten things up.
Alright. Let me,
Are we all good? Is everybody with us?
I think people can hear us trash dumpsters, and this is a common tactic of this group. So I don't think I'm really sharing anything at this point. By the way, SPD, if you are watching this, I'm on a time delay, and I'm not going to tell you how much of a time delay. So what you're watching has already happened. Sorry. That's a bar. Plays Bang a Gong. Get it on, Bang a Gong. Showing something doesn't. Showing a. I'll save that thought for later.
no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police.
And there are other people streaming. There's I know there's a Twitch streamer, and I know that there is a Instagram streamer that's here right now. And if you're just tuning in, again, this is live on the time delay. We are in Seattle. This is an amalgamation. This is part of the direct action group, but there's some other people that are in this group. Going that way.
It's very important for us to keep that tight.
Let me get behind you. Going this way. Sorry.
Police are moving. Police are moving. Stay together. Stay together. Take it right.
Side.
Right. Let's move right. Right. Right.
I actually was going to move to the opposite side they were moving, but I think
Right on Mercer, close.
I just moved in the direction they're going to walk.
This way. Never mind. Car coming through.
And there was a decision to reverse direction.
Lights over here.
Alright, we got the lights behind us, guys.
All right. SPD is behind us. How far away? SPD is behind us, but they're behind us in the distance. And the headlights, if you're seeing lights, that's the fire brigade. That's not SPD.
Alright, guys, we got company.
Why is your camera facing us instead of facing them?
It's really hard to walk backward.
No, we are in.
And because I can't see when the people are moving. Things are shaky. It's because I'm walking backwards, and it's super challenging. Difficult. So what's happening? I need to because I'm holding up the car brigade. SPD is moving in closer to the car brigade. They're moving in a lot closer now.
Move the fuck on!
Come on, yeah, nice job, nice job.
Fuck you guys!
Keep walking backwards. Don't turn around. Keep walking backwards.
I know how to do this. I've been doing
No, I know. I just didn't know if you knew where I was. Just trying to help you. That's thank you.
We got company, guys. They're coming up on us. We're going, piggies. This way, they're coming. We got big ball. They're gonna come fast. Situation where I feel safer with the protesters than I do with those guys down there. The protesters have yelled at me, not tonight. Protesters told me to stop shooting, not tonight. I've had a couple of heated confrontations. But a protester has never shot rubber bullets at me. Protesters never want to use the baton. Protesters never pepper sprayed me, and protesters never shot tear gas at me. And SBA has done that in both what you would call a very volatile situation like this, but also in very non-volatile situations where SBD has been the aggressor and escalated. And I go back to June 6th, and you can go back to the press conference with soon-to-be former Chief Spence and Mayor Durkin on the 7th of June, where they basically said, oops, We're sorry. We did use excessive force on June 6th. And oops, we're sorry. We won't necessarily admit that we lied about the IED, but we're going to hope that you're going to forget about the IED candy. And why did that happen? Because the streamers, they couldn't control the narrative.
Hey!
Dumbass bitch!
I'm so sorry.
All right. I'm on the wrong side of the fire brigade.
Hey, Yovng God! I know y'all niggas don't like me.
I'm on the wrong side of the fire
I
brigade.
know that Yovng God don't like me.
I've watched me before. I never like being on the wrong friggin' side.
Turn on my street, fuck nigga.
This is when shit happens.
Pussy, pussy, pussy.
So I definitely want to get on the other side of the fire brigade.
They're going around. They're circling around.
Going around, protect car brigade! Get these cars off this block! Protect car brigade! Don't let them get trapped in here! We're trying to get to our car! Get out of the street! Move out of the street! Get the car out of the way! Protect car brigade! Come on, come on!
I think we're going to lose the fire brigade.
Protect car brigade! Move out of the way!
SPD. Sorry about that.
Shields right here.
Hey, 11,000 steps.
Fuck you. I hate you. I want you to fucking kill yourself. Kill yourself.
So they what's for anyone 2 million?
So what's going on is the activists in the direct action group, they're behind me. There's a few SPD officers here. And I think at the end of the day, they're just nudging things. Legal observers are here also, along with a couple of streamers. See, these are the moments where I'm like, not cool. Okay. Someone with a shield right, kind of totally spread out. All right, I'm gonna military run.
You're getting
Teslas have a 360 camera.
I believe so.
No.
You have this press guy. Who knows what he's pressing? What are you thinking?
Lots of buttons. Lots of buttons of Republicans on the feed who are very upset by all this.
What is that? What's coming?
They're clutching their pearls. Going, oh my goodness. Now we love live streamers. We love the trolls because the trolls get more eyeballs on the stream and they amplify the volume. We love the online trolls.
Appreciate it. Thank you to those who were friends with banks. We appreciate you. Thank you, Shield, and thank you, Carmen. If y'all have ever heard of collectivist anarchy, this was a beautiful example of that.
Hey, hold on. Hold on. Our job here is not done. If you have a shield, we need you to fuck over here. Because they are definitely going to the stage and fuck over here. We just made them mad as shit.
Yes, we did. Stupid, right?
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree that this is not over.
What class are you from? What's your name? What's the group?
Malcontentment Tango.
I never heard of it.
Here you go.
Is it on TV?
No. Independent press.
Okay, I hope you get it.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, thank you. When I'm moving, I know there's probably been like a ton of comments and questions. When I'm moving, I can't read your comments like that. I hope people can understand that.
I so appreciate your love.
Hey, good job, man. Hey, Gina, I'm going to answer that comment. I am dressed in all black with a helmet and goggles, and I have a gas mask not on. And I have body armor on. And the reason I have one, and I also have press ID all over me. And the reason I have that is what I was talking about earlier. I've never had a protester strike me, hit me, threaten me, with injury, nothing. I've had some people say, hey, stop filming. I've had some people question, what am I doing? I've had a couple of people get in my face. On the other side of the coin, when it comes to the Seattle Police Department, even during peaceful protests, not direct action like we saw tonight, I've had rubber bullets fired at me, I've been tear gassed, I've been pepper sprayed. And on Sunday, live on air, I got whacked with a baton in violation of the standing court order. Because the standing court order that was in place said that unless something is called an unlawful assembly or a riot, press, and I was credentialed press and ID press, do not have to disperse when FCD. Further, if you tell somebody to move back and you give them basically less than a second and then whack them with a baton, it's just not being a good human being, it's being an asshole. So why do we wear all this stuff? Because Seattle Police Department cares about our COVID health so much that they want to make sure that we stay healthy. So we mask up and glove up. Because the other thing is, when you got a gas mask on, you can't touch your face, you give yourself COVID. So you should be thanking the Seattle Police Department for the great work that they are doing to prevent the spread of COVID disease among protesters. Thank you, SC.
Especially on
Ooh. Mad respect.
I know, right?
David, that's not true. And the federal court on August 10th has made that crystal clear on where the line falls. So I love how we have legal and constitutional scholars that come on here. Those of us in the streamer community talk to lawyers, and we get advised by lawyers, some of us, and it's not a white privilege thing. The ACLU provides communication to provide information on what we can and can't do. And the federal court on August 10th made it crystal clear what we can and can't do. And you wouldn't be saying that if it was the mainstream media that said that.
Hello.
How you doing?
Remember from police? I've been screaming at cops for 3 days straight. I'm in a great rush. Yeah, because...
I'll tell you what, I would love to find right now is a bottle of water. I always underhydrate, because it's always hard to find a bathroom. Oh, dude, I'll still take water. All right.
You been keeping June busy?
Oh my God, they have steak. Weird. Napoleon would approve. Napoleon would still approve of this. How's it going?
30 seconds. Yeah, yeah. No. They're just bigger. I wasn't sure if this was right here. Go ahead. I gotta get you.
Do they just circle all night, basically, and just wait? Do they wait for someone to turn out something that they can come in for, or they just come in at random?
And then it's just, here we are, we're back. There's people playing on the field. I'm waiting in line for a hot dog. It looks like a really freaking hot dog. Don't be jealous, Dr. Mrs. Malcontent, that I'm getting a hot dog. Oh, and there's potato salad.
I know, when I heard someone say Taco Bell or anything, I was like, wow, I haven't heard that in a long time. Enjoy, you guys are safe.
Hi there.
Yeah, I got hot dogs right now.
Yeah, got the sick one. You guys have a, do y'all have a Venmo or that I can put on blast here, or you just take it?
We have a cash the Revolution. Yeah, it's on cash.
So it's
The Revolution 8.
all together, no underscores.
Yeah,
no-
all together, and then T, R, and E are capitalized.
Okay. So here, if y'all didn't get that, it's the Revolution Eats on Cash App with the T and the R and Revolution and the E and Eats capitalized. So if you wanna donate some money, there you go. Venmo out because they're feeding the activists. I will take a mustard relish and ketchup. We're not keeping score. It's all good. I know. I just appreciate the food. Like the first one to ask for ketchup, does it have the thing? Or is it just not cooperating? Cooperate, ketchup! Oh, that's funny. Oh, macaroni salad, yeah, please.
you so much. Really appreciate what you're doing. Oh, I got one already. I got one already, yeah. Thank you, yes. All right, now I gotta find a place to sit down. Or we swap a place. There's a bathroom.
Hey, thank you for showing the beauty of this park.
Absolutely. We're here to tell your story.
It's not even a project, this is a life.
All right. So let me do this. Bear with me here. There's just a table here. All right. Hey, actually, that works. Cool. All right, that didn't work. Let's do this. All right, that works. I know what's happening. Give me a second. Are you guys enjoying this as much as I am? I just figured out what's going down. Bear with me here. I was actually doing that. All right, now we're good. Oh, for God's sake. How the heck did that happen? There we go. All right, there we go. Just tangled up when I ran. Had to untangle stuff. All right, I got a nice little socially distant spot here. God, he does take the mask off. Yeah, if there's food involved. And water. Someone smoking pipe tobacco? Like the kind of pipe tobacco. If you're Gen Xer, I know you're gonna watch me eat. People tuning in are like, why am I watching just tuning out? Why am I watching a dude eating a hot dog? Stick around. It's probably going to get interesting again. What you're seeing is people that aren't being listened to. You're seeing anger and rage. Plain and simple. And that's what you're seeing. And when people feel they have no hope or no opportunities, this is what they turn to. And you see this all over the world. In the inner cities, you see this in gangs. In rural America, you see this in drug dealing. Meth is a huge problem in rural America, right? It's like, that's where all the meth is. And theft. And stupidity. The gap between the haves and the have-nots is going like this. You can only pull that rubber band so far, and eventually that rubber band snaps. We're not to snap,
But what you're seeing is, it's George Floyd. It's institutional racism. It is a lack of opportunity. I paid my way through college. I worked through college. But I'm not so arrogant in my age, especially because I have white privilege, and we have one in college that we're paying for, and we were able to save for it. There is no way that you can work your way through college today. Community college, maybe, but not like a 4-year school. I was incredibly fortunate to have an employer send me to school. Unbelievably fortunate. And I'll be forever grateful for it.
Hey, dude.
But those opportunities are getting smaller and smaller. And if you're black, let me drop some truth on you. A black student is 300, high school from K through 12. A black K through 12 student is 380% more likely to get an in-school or out-of-school suspension than a white student. A black, gifted, talented student is 54% less likely to get into a gifted, talented program or receive a referral. So you better believe it starts at the beginning. And this is the byproduct of it. Do I agree with all the tactics? Of course not. Does anybody go through life agreeing 100% with everything they see? Man, if you do, I feel sorry for you because you are numb. If I don't agree with the tactics, does that mean the story shouldn't be told? Of course not. You want to see one side of the story? You can stop watching the stream. You go watch the mainstream media. If you're a Republican or Trump supporter, you got Fox News. They have custom tailored editorial for you. If you're on the left, right? You're a Bernie bro mad at the world because Bernie again. You got MSNBC. They got a custom tailored program just for you. I know I'm doing a good job when I see that I've kind of equally pissed people off. And there's been some times where I know I've equally pissed people off. Wow, that is... I did all that running around and stuff, and like full run. One of my side packs was open the whole time. I don't know if it, probably the look of my face changed a little bit. Everything is still in there. I can't friggin' believe it. I'm almost done eating.
High flames on me. Women have
And this is a great example. There's an individual here. They are clearly in a mental health crisis right now. They're not related in any way to anything that's going on here. And this city that wastes $1 billion a year. Wastes. I put the link up earlier today. Puget Sound Business Journal, 2017. They're actually spending more money now. $1 billion a year since 2010 on homelessness. That's their word. We got nothing to show for it. We've made some people rich. I definitely agree with the area's political right. Now, I've said before, my views, I'm not left, I'm not right. everything. And I agree that with this like $1 billion, and there's nothing to show for it. There's nothing to show for it. It's just wasted.
I had some questions for you.
Yeah.
Did you catch the? It looked to me from where I was standing as though several police swarmed one of our car brigades and smashed some windows and fucked
Oh,
it up.
really?
Did you? That's just what it looked like to me. I was
Okay.
wondering if you caught that. Were you there when?
I was definitely pointing about 90% of the time in that direction.
Uh-huh.
When you guys started moving really fast.
When the cop cars arrived behind us, were you recording in that?
Yeah,
direction?
yeah.
So you probably saw it then.
So let me do this. I'm going to put this out on blast because I got somebody asking, and as you know, my head was on a swivel, and when it's up on the pole, I can't see what the pole's seeing. You know what I'm saying?
Totally. I understand.
So if you guys can hear what he's asking, if we caught in the video SPD breaking windows on a car in the car brigade, put a comment in there, or if somebody can go back to the stream and take a look, because
there was so much light shining directly at my face, it was hard to see much.
Yeah.
It might have been a trick of the light, but that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah.
I wanted to have that very.
I didn't hear, I was pretty far back because I'm trying to stay back from you guys, right? And I'm trying to bounce that. So I was pretty far back from you. I didn't hear any glass breaking.
Okay.
And car glass, as you know, makes a real distinct sound. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
They definitely swarmed on one of our cars. One of our car brigades was arrested.
Is that, oh really?
Yeah, that much has been confirmed. A specific person. The cops definitely swarmed on one of our cars, and
Is that when everybody kind of started running a lot
little
faster?
Yeah, double time.
Okay.
Because at that point, like, it was the protesters' job to keep as many cars unarrested as possible, and that meant picking up speed.
Yep. So was that when, because I know they were starting to move some trash cans to kind of block, and then there was one point that was like, no, get those trash cans out of the way, we've really got to move.
Yeah.
Was that where that was happening, or?
That was a mistake. Some folks.
No, I get that. I'm just trying to figure out timeline on
It was
where.
about that. Yeah. It was
So was
actually
it
shortly thereafter.
Okay.
Those regular, because those were just regular trash bins, and then those were rolled back out on the sidewalk.
Yep.
And as we advanced, shortly thereafter, one of the cars was swarmed, and we were taken into custody.
Got it.
And that's when we picked up so that the cars could pass us.
Right.
And the shield line.
Got it. So I know where to look. I could look.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Do you have? Because I don't want to put you on blast with your name or anything, but if you want to, I don't know, you got a pen, or if you can find someone with a pen, just, I don't know, you can give me like an email address, or you can hit me up on there. Hit me up on that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Just hit me up on that. Because I don't want to put your name on blast, because I'm streaming right now.
No, yeah, that's tough. I'm fine with that. And the whole nature of the ENDD is, I don't really matter anyway. I'm just a random protester.
Yeah.
Is there any questions you would like to ask a random protester?
Yeah. Why don't we do that? Here, let me mask back up. I was just finishing up my potato chips and ranting at the city, as you probably heard.
Yeah.
Because they deserve it.
Totally, they do.
Basically, what I was just saying is they spend all this money, $1 billion a year, according to the Puget Sound Business Journal. And what do they have to show for it?
They've been harassing folks in this park all day.
Yeah, basically, right?
Yeah, they've been intimidating and just terrorizing folks.
I don't.
And we don't want them here. And we aren't hurting anybody. Like, unhoused folks are being fed. This is like.
Oh, you don't want to?
What if?
Yeah. So here, you know what? I'll keep it on me.
Okay.
I'll keep it on me. That's cool. I didn't know how far you wanted to go. I misunderstood. So just.
Well, I mean, I figured usually like they point at my feet.
Yeah, I could do that too.
Or something to that effect.
Yeah, but I could just keep it on me.
Yeah, like whatever you like. And so. Right. So.
Oh yeah, here. You know what? We'll do that. We'll keep it at your feet. All right, so I'm on your feed here. Yeah, so you're part of the NDD. I mean, just tell me about ENDD and say maybe how that's different, you know, because there was the DA group, right?
Right.
And so, how is that different? No, I don't have a lighter, sorry.
The ENDD is the Every Night Direct Demonstration.
Yep.
And that just sort of arose spontaneously of a bunch of folks who, how do I put this? Like different perspectives with the same agenda, the same goal.
Okay.
You know, in that we want to abolish the whole system.
Right.
We don't acknowledge Jenny Durkin's authority or the police authority over us, certainly over this park. At least like myself and several people that I know. Because it's all based on genocide and slavery. This is Duwamish land. This is stolen land. We acknowledge their sovereignty.
Right.
We respect them, and we would answer to them because that's just. The systems of power now are completely unjust, and therefore they do not warrant respect.
Let's do this, because I have a feeling people are having a hard time hearing you, and you got a lot to say. Why don't we move?
Okay.
You know, if you could, yeah, you know what would help me is if you could grab that one down there. Yeah, it's heavy. Why don't we just, why don't we go over here? Bear with us. We're doing an interview right now, and we're just moving. There's an individual that's probably having a little bit of a drug or a mental health crisis. And we want to respect that, but also I want you to be able to hear and respect the person who was like, "Hey, do you want an interview?" And I just want to be respectful, kind of, to everybody. So I think this gentleman has a lot to say. Thanks for carrying the bag. Appreciate it. Told you it's heavy. All right, so keep going.
Right, I forgot what the question was.
Yeah, so no, we were talking, like, you know, what about ENDD is, and you were saying we're on Duwamish land, stolen land.
Right.
You're kind of for abolish everything.
Well, I mean, I think that the police system in general was based on the slave code.
Right.
It was based on a racist, you know, the need to exterminate the indigenous people and to defend that their conquest, I guess, for lack of a better word, their theft.
Yep.
And so, like, from their bones, they're flawed, and I find that to be irredeemable. And of course, they murder people and get away with it constantly. Therefore, our tax dollars are going towards murderers. We all know that's wrong, and that has to end.
Right. There's an individual that said, I can't think of their name, but that government could be defined as having monopoly on violence.
Effectively, yeah, they get away with it.
Right.
And we are not violent, by the way. We are occasionally destructive. You know.
What would you say to somebody, right? Because I have people, you know, obviously we have people from the right that come on to watch because this is their. This to them is porn, I guess. I mean, that's my word, right?
Look at Antifa.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Right, exactly, right?
Yeah.
So what would you say, and I will say this, they're not all like that. There are people from the political right that watch that do ask good questions and do genuinely, like, I'm really trying to understand this.
Yeah, because it's fascinating.
Yeah, so for those people, not the trolls, but for those people, what would you say to them? Because like you say, we're peaceful. And I know that you know, and I know if they're standing right here, you're good to say, I just watched that. You were anything but peaceful.
No, I'm happy to explain the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Murder is violence. The abandonment, there are over 20,000 homeless folks in King County. And that, by the way, is a national problem. Because if you're homeless in, for example, Tennessee, there are very few services for you. You go to a liberal bastion, which is just more compassionate and takes better care of their homeless. And also the weather is more temperate.
Yes.
So we're dealing with a national crisis, and the entire system just doesn't give a damn about them and would just be happier if they were to disappear. They keep sweeping them from one city to another. That's not a solution. It just continues to grow, and it's only going to get worse with this economic collapse that we are experiencing, which is like the second in my lifetime. Thanks, my future is good and fucked. So, with all of these things that we know fundamentally are wrong, I don't understand why more people aren't throwing wrenches into the gears of the system. You know that the system is defunct. why aren't you fucking shit up? I don't understand it, quite frankly. I've met people who are very conservative in their mindset, and I understand and respect the way they look at the world. It makes sense to me, and
Yep.
it's rather there's some consistency to it.
Yep. Agree with that.
But I don't understand how all of that could ignore this state-run war on its own people. The
Right.
war on drugs is a war on people.
And a failure.
And a failure. And it disproportionately affects people of color worse along a color spectrum. It gets darker,
War on
worse.
poverty,
The war
failure.
on poverty, absolutely. The war on poverty is really simple to win, by the way. You give people homes. Like, do you think everybody here is here because they have nowhere else to go? Like, this is the best they can look forward to.
And it isn't even just, and I don't know, maybe your view is, for me, it isn't even just, say, give. You can't see me doing air quotes, but I'm doing air quotes. Give. They can't build generational wealth. The mean household wealth of a white family in the United States is $171,000. The mean household wealth of a black family in the United States is $17,150. Now, for most people, where's their household wealth? Right, the house. It's in the house. It's in the property.
Yeah.
Right. It has been proven over and over again. How is the fastest way to build wealth, generational wealth? Own land, own property. But if you're redlined, if it's, hey, I want a mortgage. What's the zip code? Oh, we don't do mortgages in that zip code.
Yeah,
unless you can prove you don't need a mortgage.
No, yeah, all of that is real. Here's how I look at it. Certainly
Sure.
there is a monopoly on land, and there always has been. The Constitution was written effectively for rich white landowners.
Absolutely.
Specifically landowners.
Well, it was written by rich white landowners.
Exactly. To protect their wealth. And democracy was curtailed because they understood that if they had too much democracy, they would have better equality. And with every generation we get a little bit more democratic, and the equality shifts accordingly. But now, of course, we're having these multiple crises, and everything is just bubbling to the top.
What would you? And again, for some people that are listening right now and watching, they want to put things in boxes, right? They want to put things in like, you're a Democrat, you're a Republican, you're an independent, you're Tea Party, you're black bloc anarchist, you're anarchist, you're so. Well, so if we tried to put a bow on this, like where that's just park lights timers going off, so that's nothing here,
We'll fix
folks.
that shortly. They'll turn it back on.
Yeah. So like where does ENDD, and you said that it's multifaceted, so like where does it kind of fall in the spectrum?
Here's the thing. Every individual who shows up has their own agenda. They are their
Absolutely.
own person in their own universe they're in. And so it's very difficult for me to speak on behalf of that group.
What's yours?
Is incredibly
If you don't mind me asking.
No, I don't mind. Here's my thinking. I think that people don't understand what capitalism, communism, socialism, and anarchy means.
Yes.
I think that those were all theories written by people who are frankly dead and never saw the internet. They don't know, they never knew, they could not have imagined the world we're in today.
Right.
Those are all really interesting and useful theories, and I read them and I find them quite fascinating. But none of them has God's truth. I think that all of them have really interesting points that should be considered, that are valid. I think that there are moments in this economy where socialism works really well. For example, feeding people is just better than letting them starve, and we as a society can take care of that.
Right.
I love firefighters. Me personally, I'm a big fan of the fire department. That is socialism. And that is a very effective socialism, and I'm very glad that they exist. Thank you to all firefighters.
Well, ironically, let's spin this on its head, right? We have a president that has slapped tariffs on multiple countries and multiple products.
Yeah.
Tariffs, by definition, are price controls. Price controls, by definition, is socialism.
Well, it's certainly a very liberal government type.
Yes.
It's very aggressive.
Yes.
I think that capitalism has its uses as well. You know, I'm a big fan of variety of things. And I think that anarchy, ultimately, when you really get down to it, is about local people self-determining. And I think there's a lot of beauty in that, and just real freedom. Now, obviously, there are always going to be bad actors, and every society has had to respond to those, you know, when they come up. And so I don't pretend to have any answers for how to deal with all those bad actors. But I do know that we could do better than what we're currently doing in the United States. The prison industrial complex is effectively slave labor. Like, if you haven't watched the Netflix documentary 13, strongly recommend it.
Yep, agreed. Let's put that on blast. If you haven't watched 13, watch 13. Really, and I mean, watch it. Don't be like, I'm playing on my phone and it's playing in the background. Watch it. Watch it.
Powerful, devastating stuff, and it is. It's American history.
Yeah.
It's stuff that we need to know, and it's the reason why people like me are acting the way we are, because we know our history and we know what happens to activists and people who dream of a better world. You know, how many names are there? I could go down just the ones that pop to mind: Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Freddie Hampton, Marsha P. Johnson, Harvey Milk.
Yep.
Angela Davis was, you know, blacklisted from the country. Eartha Kitt as well.
Yep. Charlie Chaplin was thrown out of the United States.
People are made examples of in so many ways. And so there's a reason why people like me are protecting our identity, because frankly, we don't want to get murdered. And that's a pretty reasonable concern, given the fact that the police murder people with shocking regularity and impunity.
Right. And one of the things I see comments in the thread from people, it's like, oh, they're wearing helmets, oh, they're wearing, you know, like they don't look peaceful. Yes, exactly. And I was saying earlier tonight, it's like, you know what? I'm wearing body armor. I'm wearing helmets. I'm wearing a knee pad. I have gas mask. And you know why? Because I've been tear gassed. I've been pepper sprayed. I've had rubber bullets shot at me. And on Sunday at a quote unquote peaceful protest, I was hit with a baton. So this is why you see people dressed up like this.
Anymore. Well, I worry that this moment, this administration, this country is slipping into overt fascism.
And I agree with you there. I wouldn't be here if I didn't agree with you.
I think that cops have always been the frontline foot soldiers since, you know, Wounded Knee, Ferguson, to Standing Rock, to Rosewood and Oklahoma, Tulsa, in Black Wall Street. You know, that's...
the Washington D.C. riots in the early '90s. I mean,
just a few months ago.
I mean, like Minneapolis, and who literally lit the match in Minneapolis? A alt-right motorcycle Aryan gang member who literally lit the first match. By the way, he's wanted right now in warrants, but amazing. The police can't seem to find him. Isn't that amazing how that works?
It's the same way there was a bunch of religious folks who were having a baptism,
absolutely
in the park, dipping people in this gross, dirty brown water. It was nasty and unsettling. Hella yikes. They were going to get people killed. The cops didn't do shit to them.
No, but they came in and said the park was closed today.
Right.
But it wasn't closed Sunday.
We were feeding people.
When I drove up here at about 7:30 tonight, this field was full of people just chilling in the field.
Because fuck that.
Because I'm like,
no.
Wait a minute, I thought the park was closed, and that's why we had this bullshit this morning. I say that sarcastically.
Well, you know, they can sweep us again tomorrow morning, and we'll be right back.
Yeah, I know. And we all know what's coming, right? So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, realistically, these are not great optics for them, and they're spending a lot of money to just patrol, you know, to do nothing but intimidate folks.
Right.
It's not very fiscally responsible, quite frankly, and it's embarrassing for them, because every time they try to come, we just tell them to get fucked. No pigs in the park.
Right.
And we're a unified front on that. It's kind of hard for them to do anything. They try to antagonize us so that they can arrest and continue that harassment. But the thing is, they know their number's cooked, or their number's been called, their goose is cooked, and so they're desperate, and they're turning violent.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what this morning was payback. I wrote that on our page. This was all about payback and revenge, right? They pulled all the people out. Where do I get my stuff? Oh, go ask the navigation team. Ha 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 ha,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Because the navigation team was defunded.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but it's just the big middle finger.
Yeah, so if the navigation team was defunded, then what the fucks were the cops even doing here? Was
Right.
that just for their own jollies?
Totally.
Like,
It was revenge.
yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't for public safety.
Clearly, because like now fewer people, for a few hours, people were not getting food, people were not getting care.
Right.
There are a number of folks who are not mentally stable, and that much instability is not good for them.
No.
You know?
You know what's interesting is somebody asked me just as we were leaving, and I was reading comments, and I saw this one comment, and somebody had asked on my feed, like, or made the comment, like, I hope everybody was okay from or like, was everybody okay? And I says, if I was asleep and I had the doors kicked in and I had a gun in my face and I was told I've got 1 minute to get out, I would be pretty fucking far from okay right now.
Yeah.
That's literally what I said.
There's that, and and then there are the folks who are arrested. Fortunately, I don't think the cops can really, nothing can really stick.
Right.
Because they're just pumping up a bunch of nonsense because they can't actually prove anything.
Well, it's an intimidation tactic.
Yeah.
Is all it is.
Yeah. Exactly. They're probably hoping that somebody's going to snap or break under pressure.
Yep.
But we've all been we all know how to talk to cops. I invoke my right to remain silent. You can send all questions to my attorney.
Yep. By the way, regardless of your political stripes, regardless of what you may think of the police who are listening to you, that is the most sound advice you are probably going to get in this entire feed all night. If you are being questioned by the police, you invoke your right to the Fifth Amendment, you shut the fuck up and you ask for a lawyer. The end.
Yes.
Not even if you're like, but I didn't do anything wrong. If you are in a position where, am I being detained? Yes, you are being detained. Done. You want a lawyer. The conversation is over. Because you're just going to endanger yourself in your legal case if you open up. Because anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
Yeah, usually the cops don't have anything. And again, they can't prove
Totally.
any of the alleged crimes that's occurred in the neighborhood to property, which is mostly just tagging, by the way, and some disruption towards Amazon and Whole Foods. And quite frankly, fuck Jeff Bezos. If we ate one Jeff Bezos, we could solve world hunger. Fuck Amazon Go.
Talking in metaphors.
Yeah, fuck Whole Foods. Like they could feed people. Instead, they're just pricks about it.
Well, Whole Foods is penalizing employees. I'm not penalizing. What's the word I'm looking for? Not discriminating, not penalizing. Sanctioning employees that are just trying to wear Black Lives Matter attire, right?
Yeah,
and then they're being told, no, you can't. But because it's a political statement, but you can wear, say, LGBTIA, or you can wear other attire, and that's okay, right? So then, how does that jive at Whole Foods? It doesn't.
Yeah. It's just Jeff Bezos is a small-minded, selfish little Lex Luthor vampire.
Yeah, with the bald head, I get that. All right, so let's. If you wanted to close on 3 points, 3 things, what 3 points would you want to close up on?
Let's see. What do I want to point? I guess fundamentally, there is a difference between violence and disruption and distraction.
Okay.
We are non-violent. We do not hurt people. We do not endanger people. We protect people. We serve people. We pick up trash. We feed people. That's what we believe in. We believe in community. We occasionally believe in putting levers and wrenches into the gears of a system that is destroying us. And I think that is absolutely justifiable, so long as it is conscientious. We would never. I would never want to harm an immigrant business.
Mm-hmm.
I love immigrants. This nation was built on immigrants. Things like that.
Right.
We are not random. You are not in danger unless you are a greedy, racist prick, in which case you should be scared. This nation is not for you. It never was, and it certainly isn't now, you know? Fuck fascism. American heritage is defeating fascism. So if you are a patriot, you are anti-fascist. There's no, it's a very clear distinction there.
Yep.
Being anti-Antifa is being next to Nazis.
Yep.
And we kill Nazis. Very proud of that history, you know? So fuck fascism. We are taking a stand.
I really appreciate it. I appreciate you coming to me. I appreciate you talking. It was a great conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have a great night. All right.
What do you need from me?
Yeah.
I'll be here for you.
It's kind of weird. There's.
But I'll be here for you.
It thinks there's 3 cameras. The software here that I use. I know this looks like secret films from behind enemy lines, doesn't it? With the with kind of the darkened look here. Bear with me. If you're just tuning in, we're broadcasting live. We're in Seattle on a time delay. We're at Cal Anderson Park. There's no big secret about where we are at this stage of the game. We have had a there was kind of an action with SPD, and actually it appears that things have quieted down. I actually can't, like, the phone that I kind of read all your comments and all. Technology is not playing nice with me tonight. The phone that I read all your comments on crashed, and I can only see like the 5 most recent comments, and it looks like you're talking amongst yourselves. I love it when you talk amongst yourselves, by the way. I love it. And I love when I see constructive discussion. And every now and then we have bipartisan discussion, and every now and then we get bipartisan agreement. And I really love it when there's bipartisan agreement, although I haven't seen that in a while. I suspect there was bipartisan agreement when I was talking about how effed up Seattle is from the standpoint of all the money that is just wasted in dealing with quote-unquote homelessness, because they have like nothing to show for it. Things have totally calmed down, like to the point, you know, I actually may consider ending the stream. What I'm gonna do is just see what's gonna go on, and I'm gonna see if I can find any other information. I know it's like really dark. It's dark where I'm at. Don't know what to tell you. I don't know. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. All right. At least you can. Come on. There. Seriously? All right. You can look at that while I check and see if I need to reposition.
I feel no matter what you say, whatever they said, who said, that's what they're doing. And that's why we need to have. That's why on the streets.
Okay, so apparently I do have on video apparently I'm reading some stuff, and apparently I do have on the video, but unfortunately I was facing the other way, me personally, but apparently I do have the video of one of the cars having the windows broken out, and apparently the driver being tased. So I have that on video. So just bear with me here.
You gotta be cool, homie.
I'm just catching up on comments. Calypso Head, if you're still around and you're still listening, if you need a charge, and you have a USB cable with you, or if you have an Android device with a takes a C cord, I am right basically at kind of the house on the far end of the ball fields. Come on down. I can give you a jolt of power if you need it. So it looks like everything is kind of calm. I think I made
Apparently they're getting a lot of funding.
okay. I'm just catching up again. Things were just moving really fast at some point, and it was just a matter of trying to keep up and tell the story. So.
Or you wake up, you wake up one day you can't breathe. That's my point.
So, all right, let me see if I can do this. So you know what? Let me do this. Let me do this. I know. Oh, love it. Piss me off. All right, bear with me so we can get a little, shine a little light on the situation. Ha! Trying to shine some light on the situation, and I'm not succeeding. I don't know why it's so dark. All right, there we go. All right, there we go. Well, I'm trying. That's like the best I can do. It's a little dark. The lighting, as we would say in the business, the lighting is shit. There's just a little bit of light. So we're wrapping up, and appreciate I appreciate everybody here watching today, and Malcontentment Tango. I think that's it. We're out.